Hey Jerry, I'm sorry I've been rambling and forgot to go live. So I don't know if anybody's there or not. The link is there if you want to come up. Uh, that Larry Lee, that is a ninja for my Filipino phone number. I do happen to have. Uh, hey ABCM, I'm sorry. I I was sitting here rambling. Hey everybody, I was sitting here rambling, just rambling on, and I forgot to go live. I rambled for I don't know how long. Hell, getting old, isn't it? Hey, Cindy. Hey, AC, Jerry. Uh, uh, I know ABCM's here. Yen. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if I missed anybody. I'm not like. I'm sorry, people. I was sitting here talking, and nothing was coming up, and I just kept talking. And then I looked up and noticed I forgot to hit go live. What do you think of my new shirt, huh? You like it? I bought a few more of them. I got a new T-shirt. I'll wear sometime this week. Maybe I'll wear it next live stream. It says University of I'm Done, DONE, uh, class of 2026, Department of Retirement. So I like that. Hey, Crystal, thanks for coming. Yeah, I think I said your name, but in case I didn't, hello. Yeah. We got Mike H coming up. Hey, Mike, how you been, man? Been a while.
Yeah, it has. How you been?
Oh, not too bad. Trying to enjoy myself. I was sitting here, Mike. I'm not lying. I was sitting here talking for 15 minutes or more, not realizing I hadn't gone live yet.
What?
I brought everything up, set up the link to bring people up, and I just started talking. I forgot to hit the go live button. I'm not
Yeah.
like 10, 15 minutes I was talking before I realized it. It's hell getting old, Mike. Hell getting old.
Yeah.
Pamela, how you doing? Married too. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, they found a tumor on me yesterday.
Hopefully nothing serious.
Hopefully
Cancerous
not.
or just a
Hopefully a fatty cyst. Hopefully. It's rather
yeah.
large.
Hey, Leah.
It's bigger than
Hopefully
a
it's
tennis
like I said.
ball.
Hopefully it's just a benign, something benign.
Yeah.
Uh, I've had a thing taken out of my back before, and
Yeah.
it was it was just a cyst of some type. I mean, it got a big old bump and it broke open and bled and so I had to have it taken out. This was years ago. This is before I ever started a channel, and that's how
Ooh.
long ago it's been. And I had it done through the VA in Buffalo, and I took some pictures of it. When I created my channel, those pictures got transferred into the channel as pictures, And if I did it, I don't know how I did it. I mean, back then there's a very first thing on my channel, if you can find it, is the pictures of the sore that I had cut out, and that was not before it was cut out, after it was cut out. I
Yeah.
took some pictures of it.
Did it heal up nice on your back after it was out, or did it leave a big
Well,
hole?
yeah, it left a little indent, but I mean, it was you couldn't see it, but you could feel where it was at because there was a little
Yeah.
indent there where they took it out.
They said it's larger than a tennis ball, and I
Huh?
didn't notice it until I was touching it. I was
Yeah,
like,
mine was right. And there's a little bump there, like maybe it's come back,
yeah,
but it's not sore or anything. And uh, one of these days I'll have them check it, but it's very small. There's a little bump right. I don't know, right there where my hand, right there where
right
my
on your
finger is at.
shoulder blade.
No, mine's on top.
Yeah, it's on top of my shoulder blade.
Yeah, and Ilocana, how you doing? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, Ilocana, and it looks like you're not a monitor, so let me give you one. I know who you are.
Yeah.
She's so now for those of you that are new here, if you want to advertise your channel, all you got to do is type in 3Ls and my Nightbot will drop your link for you. And so it's very simple. Razzle R, how you doing? I know who she is as well. So we're just, like I said, right now I'm enjoying retirement still. It's
Yeah.
I still don't want to get up in the morning, but I've been that way all my life. I'm one of these people that I hate going to bed at night and I hate getting up in the morning.
Yeah.
Once I'm up, I don't usually want to go back down. Unless I get up really too early, then I'll take a nap. But like I said, usually I just get up and I don't want to go to bed until I'm sitting here falling asleep or dang
Yeah.
near falling asleep. Then I'll get up and go to bed. And I can tell when it's usually when it's time to go to bed because I've been known to fight it. But if I'm sitting here by myself doing nothing but watching YouTube videos and stuff like that, I'll go ahead and lay down. But
Well, I got sleep apnea, so I tend to
I got a
fall asleep.
CPAP. I got a
I,
CPAP. I can't sleep without mine. I've been
uh,
using a C. I've been using a CPAP since the winter. Uh, you know, January or February, somewhere in there of 2000 itself. So I've been using a CPAP for over 26 years. And
that's good.
but yeah, now my air pressure is set at 16.
Mine's set at 15 right now, but it needs to go up.
Yeah, mine's at 16, and I don't think it needs to go up. I've been. It's been a couple of years since I've been checked, but the last time I was checked, oh, about five, maybe, yeah, about 5 years ago, maybe
Huh.
six, but no, about 2001, 2002, so 4 or 5 years ago. The VA in Albany wanted to check me out, and so I had to go in and get checked, and they kept it at 16. So, and mine's been at 16 since the very beginning. It's never been adjusted.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what else to say. It's just I've always had that high air pressure. Now, my jaw will sometimes drop, so I wear a chin thing to help keep my jaw closed. Uh, and then sometimes I'll have a couple pillows there, which will also prop your head to go forward, which closes your mouth more. Uh, so, yeah, and I just started doing that a few years ago. I never used anything like that until a few years ago. But the longer you're on one, I think uh, the more your body will adjust, and the more you may have to do. Now, how many do you have a filter for not the machine, but for the hose to keep it from? Because the machine filters out. Uh, Well, if you'll wait, I'll be right back. You
All
go ahead
right.
and if it comes up, talk to him. I want to show you the filter I'm talking about.
All right. Let me get on.
All right. It'll be just a moment.
Hey, road to the Philippines. Hey, Jerry. Call South Texas home. Call South Texas home.
Oh, wow. It's almost time to change this one. I have a filter like this.
Oh, no, I don't have that.
And it goes down. You can put it down here on this end if you want, on the end that connects to the machine. Now, the reason why I wanted to go get this, I want to show you this. It looks like it's about time to change this one as it
Well,
is.
let me ask you this.
Can you see how black that is?
No.
That's
Oh, yeah,
white.
yeah. I can see how black that is.
That's white when I put it on. When I put it on the hose, that is white. That's more dirt that gets out than what the
Now,
machine filters. So this keeps this stuff from going into your lungs.
now, did you have to get a special plug to make it work in the socket?
Nope. No. See?
Same as US, huh?
Yeah. But now it'll only go in one way. All right. So I got it where it goes in here. This and this is the end.
Maria.
And then I plug this into this end, and then this end goes into the machine.
Just Sposa.
Huh?
Oh, I was just reading off the names. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Diosa. Hey, Diosa, Jessica. Thanks for coming. I'm sorry I walked away, but I wanted to show Mike something.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I saw it advertised on, I can't remember, Facebook, Instagram, probably either Instagram or YouTube, probably Instagram. But I saw it advertised and I looked at it and I thought, well, we'll give it a try. And I gave it a try. Now here in Cebu, compared to back in Waterville, right outside of Albany, that gets dirty a lot quicker. So there's a lot more pollution in the air. And that's, even though you're going to breathe that in when you're walking around,
in the Philippines, there's
the
more
more
pollution.
you can cut it out, the better off it is for your lungs, in my opinion.
The Philippines has more pollution.
The bigger cities, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If you're out in the province where they don't have a lot of vehicles, they probably don't have any more pollution than a smaller. You go to New York City, they got a lot more pollution than Rochester or Buffalo because it's so much bigger. But you take the town of the same size, it may be more pollution here because of the vehicle emissions. Lady, how you doing? Hello, my lady. Just showing some CPAP equipment. But like I said, yeah, good thing I pulled that off. I'll probably have to change that out. Yeah, I might as well take it off. I'll get a new one out. Here's where the problem is getting it. You got to grab the right spot.
I just want to.
Like I said, you got to grab the right spot or you pull the other thing out. But yeah, that's good. That's a lot. Yeah, I need to replace that. Like I said, look how black. I don't know if you can see that. Look how black. And that's white when I put it in. Well, if you hold everything down. Hey, Jerry. I'll put this back into my bedroom and I'll grab a clean one and show you what a clean one looks like. I'll be right back.
Hey, Lady Enchantress Garden. Hey, Coin Society.
Now they come individually wrapped like this. It comes in a plastic.
Now, did you get that from the VA?
Did you see how white
what?
that is?
Yeah. Did you get that from the VA?
No, I bought this individually. They don't. The VA gives you the machine and the. See, there they are side by side.
Yeah. Wow.
And so, like I said, that one I
It's
just took
working.
out of the wrapper.
It's working.
Yeah, it removes a lot of pollutant, and so that's why I use it like that.
Yeah.
But I saw the advertisement and they showed it. I said, "Well, I'll buy some, see how it works." They weren't that expensive, and there is a place here in Cebu where I can get these filters on my own.
Okay.
I don't have to get a prescription. I can get both kinds of filters. Here, it's over in the Capital District. There's a medical supply place over there that has it. But also, if I live somewhere that doesn't have that capability, Amazon sells them, and we'll sell them to you. Just look up CPAP filters, and you'll be able to find them. The company itself will deliver it to you. I'm trying to remember the name of. Just type in CPAP suppliers on not on Amazon, but I mean on Google, and type in CPAP filters, and they'll probably come up, and you can check and see who would sell them and who would had the cheapest price, because it would probably mention Amazon as well.
That's cool.
But I can get Amazon only sends you, I think, 3 months at a time. But you can order. I mean, you can order just 1 month, 3 months. But you can order the 3 months double if you want. You know how it is. You can say, I want twice the, this amount two times or whatever, and then buy them. Because like I said, if I move somewhere, because I'm still trying to figure out where I want to live. Whether it's going to be here in Cebu or Dumaguete or Iloilo or Davao City or maybe Ormoc and Leyte, which is not too far from Bye. Who knows?
How's
like
the
I said, I'm
rent?
making my first. Huh?
How's the rent?
Right now, there was 1 week it rained almost every day, but not all day. I mean, there'd be rain off and on all day.
No,
but not all day. Huh?
The rent. The rent.
You said the rain, right?
No, the rent.
Oh, the rent. Oh, okay. I pay just under $500 a month for a 1-bedroom. And
is that good?
Well, yeah. If you go into the what they call the bubble, like IT Park or Business Park, I would pay this or more for a studio. I have a 1-bedroom. I would call it. To me, it's more like a 2-room efficiency.
Okay.
All right, and in that, it's only 2 rooms. So this room I'm sitting in is my living room, dining room, kitchen. All right, it's all that in one. And then my bedroom is just my bedroom. There is a little work area that you can work at in the bedroom in my bed. It's a queen size bed. And my bathroom is separate, but it's in there. Where to me a one bedroom apartment is like in the States. You have your living room, dining room may be together, but you got a separate kitchen and a separate bedroom. At least that's what I always had in my apartments. I always had the kitchen. Now, and a couple of them, the kitchen was quite small, but it was a separate from the rest of the
But
rest
it's
of the place.
Americanized.
Yeah. Now, so I lived in places where the kitchen was very large. We had a separate, and this was an apartment, but it was like a 3 bedroom apartment. There was my nephew, his best friend, and myself. We were sharing a place when I first moved out to New York, and we had a giant kitchen, dining room was one room, huge, huge living room, and that was all downstairs. And then upstairs was the bedrooms and stuff like that. So hell, we even had a small room that was it was all you could have turned it into a bedroom, so it would have been 4 bedrooms. But my nephew and his buddy both liked to play guitars, and that was their studio. They go in there because it was small. You'd only have a
Yeah.
singular, only could have a single bed. One of those small single beds, and I don't know if you could put much of anything else in there. But they'd sit. It was large enough for a couple chairs, and they'd sit in there and play their guitars together, and you know, and then like I said, all three of us had our own bedrooms. So, uh, but yeah, I've lived in places where the kitchen, my kitchen in Waterville, uh, you got 2 people in there. You were bumping it. You didn't have room. Same thing in Leroy. You really didn't have room to move around, and there was 2 of you in there. I mean,
Yeah.
they were small. Well, my bathroom in Waterville, I could sit on the stool and reach the light and turn the lights on and off without even getting just lean forward and touch it. It was just as long as the bathtub, and that was as long as that bathroom was. So from one end to the other, that was it. That was the length. Now it was wider, but you had the bathtub on one side, the sink, and all the medicine cabinet, the drawers for your towels and stuff on the other side. So it was kind of narrow room to walk in and out.
Yeah.
And like I said, and the kitchen was there again. Like I said, 2 people in there, you were bumping into each other. But a good sized living room, dining room, and a really big uh, bedroom. I did a lot of live streams in my bedroom. I had my computer set up in there, 2 chest of drawers, the bedroom, and I had a queen size bed. And still had a huge bedroom. But
Okay.
hey, Miner, how you doing? Hey, Danny. Sorry, man. Uh, I got busy talking, so you have to excuse me.
Yeah.
And I forgot to give Angelique a monitor. I'm going to give her one. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, as you can see, like I said, as you can see how clean, how white that is, and you saw the other one.
Oh
So
yeah.
I would highly
It's
recommend
working.
anybody that uses a CPAP. Uh, let's see what this says on here. Maybe that gives you the information you want. All right, here it is. Here it is. It's ready. It's
Yeah.
the brand is PAP
Hmm.
MD.
PAP
PAP
MD.
MD.
Okay.
It's a bacteria filter. Now, I don't know how much you like this. They're made in China, but I don't care. I can probably order them
Well,
through Lazada.
certain things, I wonder if they got lead poisoning or some type of chemical involved. But they steal a lot of our technology and how
Yeah.
we make stuff and they
Yeah.
redo it. And,
Well, like I said, I'm not seeing anybody else advertise this. There may be
yeah,
another brand I don't know,
yeah.
but this is the one that was.
But I'm sure it's probably safe. I'm
Yeah.
sure no, they're not going to try to kill me.
No, because then they lose your business. But
Yeah,
like I said,
yeah.
as you can see, man, I mean, it takes out a lot of stuff, and like I said, it takes out. I go through these quicker here. Uh, this is only about 2 weeks. A little over 2 weeks is all that is. Now, back in Waterville, it would last longer. Now,
Huh.
like I said, New York City, LA, no. It would be just as bad, if not quicker, especially LA. Because all that pollution, I don't know if you know about LA, but hey, Alki, uh, IKEA, AIKIE, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Acorn, how you doing, man?
Hey, Minerva.
Acorn Society is here. But like I said, though, LA happens to be in the valley of a mountain that's trapped. So the pollution gets trapped in there until either a strong wind comes and pushes it out or the rain comes and washes it out. Now, LA and probably some other cities, I know uh, there's some cities here in the Philippines that does it as well. I'm sure Mexico City does it. These cities that have high pollution, they
Yeah.
will have air quality days, and there'll be days they'll tell you to stay inside. Unless you have to go out, just stay inside. The air is that bad. And
Hmm.
LA does it. California, places in some other places in California does that. Mexico City does that. And there's a now I can get the air quality when they're on my phone. That'll tell me every once in a while. I'll come up check the air quality. It'll tell you whether it's good, moderate, and it'll give you the different things about the pollution. Now, when it's the rainy season, the air quality is usually pretty good because
Hmm.
that rain will wash the pollution out of the air. So right now, the air quality is pretty good here, comparatively speaking. Uh, but so yeah, it's just like I said, those of us that use CPAPs, the ones that don't, if they're worried about pollution at night, put a mask on.
Yeah.
I would prefer to sleep without one. I wish I didn't have to use a CPAP, but
Right.
that's what I have to do to breathe and just be able to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah. I need to get mine going.
Yeah. Well, I've got to the point I can't really, unless I'm setting up, I can't sleep without it. I cannot lay down and sleep without my CPAP.
Yeah.
I can't do it. All right, Jerry, you take care, man. Have a good night's sleep. He says, time to go. Have a blessed day, hosts. Salata, lahat, whatever lahat means. LAHAT. Probably good night, but or good day. But yeah, he's Jerry goes to bed. It's his bed.
So that.
Yeah, it's going on 8 o'clock at night. He goes to bed early and gets up early.
Yeah. That's how I feel like doing.
But yeah, see, we're been almost 30 minutes. All right, and then you add about a 15 minutes to that, maybe more. That's how long I talked before I turned it on.
You
I
that
sat
guy,
here, Jerry. The show Jerry was there, and I sat here just talking to Jerry, and I put the invite up. How you put that up, and I was telling Jerry, well, Jerry, if you want, come on up, and there's nobody else here. And then I looked up and says, go live. So I did. I sat here and talked for about 15 minutes or more.
And
I
could be
got on a
worse.
little late. Anna
Don't
G, how you doing? Thanks for coming. But yeah, so I just sat here and rambled on for about 15 minutes or so. And
hello,
I don't know.
energy.
Yeah. But yeah, I just, oh, I could, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God. As soon as I went live, names started popping up.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, you idiot. I was talking about, one of the things I talked about is I don't like eating with my dentures in, my partial,
Yeah.
because food particles get up inside of it. And the only way to clean it is you got to take it out, wash it out with something, or lick it, or wipe it out, or something. And until you do that, people sometimes food particles shows that so I just don't like it.
Yeah.
And so last night I was at Kubla Khan's. I believe it's a Mongolian style restaurant. Had what they call the pork warrior. It's very spicy.
Pork warrior.
I took it out, wrapped it in a napkin, and held it in my hand the whole time I was eating. Because I just don't want to deal with it. Now at home, I don't wear I don't put it in until I'm ready to go out. And now sometimes I'll go out without it. I've done that before. And matter of fact, I did that Friday night when I went out finally. Uh, I don't know if you were here or not, but I was telling Jerry, and this is after I went live. I told Jerry this, I think, but I was supposed to get I went in on Saturday last week, not yesterday, but last week, and signed up for fiber internet, and they told me it'd be 2 to 3 days. And so I wasn't sure, but I figured Sunday was safe to go out. I didn't know if they counted that day or not because the office there that I went to is open on Sundays. But I figured the workers probably had it off, but I wasn't sure. So I went out Sunday and did some stuff. And then I stayed home Monday because, like I said, I wasn't sure if Sunday counted or not. I figured it probably wasn't, but I wasn't going to take a chance because I had to be here for them to do it.
Yeah.
Because they had to come in and work in my apartment and stuff like that. So nothing happened Monday, which I didn't expect it to. I figured it'd be Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday, still nothing. No call, no anything, because they were supposed to call me before they came. Thursday's going, nothing. All of a sudden, I get a call. They're going to be there later that afternoon. So they come in Thursday. They get some stuff hooked up, but around 5 o'clock, they're still not done, but they're done for the day. So they said, we'll be back tomorrow, which is Friday, at 8 in the morning. Well, it was probably a little closer to 9, but they did show up. And they stayed here until everything was hooked up. I had one of the guys sit there in the chair right next to me on my right. And the phones, I got hooked up to the fiber right away. Boom. Typed in the correct password. Boom. They were all set up. The laptop took almost a half an hour longer to get it to connect. And the one guy sat right there with me, suggesting things to try until we got it hooked up. They did not leave until everything was hooked up to the network. And, it cost a pretty penny to get it set up. The router or whatever you call it, that you're going through to get the internet.
Yeah.
Because I am on a month to month, I can't get a long term lease because I don't have an ARC or ARC. I always want to say ARC, ACR, but it's not. It's aliens certificate registration card. I always want to say alien registration certificate, but it's Alien Certificate Registration Card. ACR. I always wanted to say ARC.
How much is that?
People call it an ARC, but it's actually ACR. And I have it, but I don't have it yet. I mean, I've been approved, but it takes a month to 2 months to get it once you're approved, because it's got to go to Manila. They have to print it out. Then they have to send it back to my representatives, and then they'll call me when it comes back in, and I'll have it with me. And you only got to do it once.
Okay.
But and you can't do it till you've been here 2 months. And that's whether you stay on a tourist visa, or if you get married and do a 13A, or if you get a former military and do a military, or some other kind of SRRV. So I got that. I'm waiting on it. I was going to go to a plan on my phone, but I have to wait till November to do it, because I started it as a prepaid. And because I started it prepaid, I had to do 6 months as a prepaid where I pay as I go. And then after 6 months, I can switch over to a monthly program, which is what I'll do. Switch over to a monthly program.
Okay.
We're just trying to figure out what we're going to do on the others. Like I said, I'm going to Dumaguete next month. I'm leaving on the 4th. I got a hotel room for the 4th through the 11th. I can check in at 2:00 on the 4th, and I got to check out by noon on the 11th.
Gotcha.
And I'll be back here on the 11th. I'll meet up with Dan and Matt and Minnie shortly after I get back. They come over every month, and Dan and Matt and Minnie and I will meet up, and then we're going to go visit Mertz. She just had a baby boy not too long ago.
Yeah, how is the baby doing?
Yeah. Well, we're going to go see Mertz and the baby and her family. We decided we'll do that when they come over this time. We'll all go over together to SMC side, because that's the area she lives in. And so we'll meet up with Mertz and her family. And so I'll get to meet Mertz and her baby. She's got a baby boy. The baby will be about 2 or 3 months old by this time.
Yeah.
I think about 3 months old. So first month or two, we didn't really want to go over and, give her time to adjust to having the baby again,
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, we'll go. That's our plan. We're going to go over and see Mertz in September. I mean, listen to me, August. I'm getting ahead of myself. I got a guy I used to work with. He could be in the background. He may not be here. He's been in before. Phil. Hey, Phil, if you're there. Phil's retired in September and coming over at the end of September. And he's following us, not the same exact route, but the same exact route. And once he gets to the Philippines, I stayed at the Felicia Island Hotel for a couple of days. He's going to do the same thing, because he's getting in late at night like I did, about 10 o'clock at night. Hey, Phil, there you are. How you doing? I'm just talking about you. You just popped in. Phil Keller. But the Felicia Island Hotel will pick you up from the airport at that time of night. Yeah, they let you know they're there. They tell you who the driver is and all that good happy stuff. Yeah. Phil, where I'm from, it's called Your Ears Are Burning. When someone's talking about your ears are burning, he says his ears are ringing. But anyway, so he's going to spend a couple days there, which is what I did. that he's going to go to Suites 18 or 18 Suites. I think it's 18 Suites in La Hogue. And he might stay a little longer than I did, but it's going to be real close to the same length of time I stayed where he looks for an apartment. So I told him, look into La Hogue itself. I mean, really, I would not move into. He goes 60 days and counting. So he's counting down.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't blame you, Phil. But so he'll be here, and I'll meet up with him when he gets here. Probably once he gets to 18 Suites, sometime after he gets there, I'll meet up with him.
Crystal's Adventures is here.
Yeah, she was here earlier. I said hi
Okay.
to her. That's before you came in. She was here.
Okay.
And so, yeah. So help him get situated a little bit. But Phil, really, I would look outside the bubble area because a studio apartment. I was talking to a guy who lives in a studio apartment inside Business Park, and it was more money per month than my one bedroom outside of it. So I mean, you can get a studio if that's what you want. You can get a studio outside of the main bubbles for less money, and some of these areas have what they call walking gardens, which means you're inside the apartment complex and you can walk around in those areas. And they got laundry mats, they got grocery stores, they got shops. They're smaller than the malls at Business Park and IT, but they got everything you really need on a day-to-day basis. And then if you want, you can take a grab into the bubble, which is what I do. I take a grab in. It's only a mile from my apartment to the mall, but my walking still bothers me to walk that far.
Yeah.
And when it's really hot, no, I'm not doing it when it's real hot. Walking to Landers, which is only about a half mile, I'll do that. I've done that. But if I walk to Landers, I'm taking a grab back because I'm buying stuff. I don't want to walk back carrying it.
Right.
And Landers is considered at the start, right at about the start of the business park, which is where I go. I like to go to the terrace, which is in Cebu Business Park. And when the weather's decent, like last night and the night before, I sat out on the terrace and ate. I go to a restaurant that will bring the food out to you on the terrace, ordered my food and sit out there both nights. It wasn't that uncomfortable. Yeah, Phil, like I said, but you're not. Now, I don't know if you're where you're looking at, but those 22,000 are probably not in the bubble area. You're saying in Business Park. Make sure that includes your rental condo fees and any other fees, because sometimes what they'll do is they'll tell you a low fee, then they got all these other fees they add to it. Condo fees. That could be 100 pesos per square meter.
Yeah.
Which, if you got a fair size studio, let's say 22 square meters, well, that's another 2,200 pesos. Now, like I said, if that's where you want to be, that's fine. Go ahead and be there. Just make sure that you know the exact cost of what it's going to be. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you don't live there. I'm just saying make sure you're not overspending, because those areas are usually smaller. Like I said, my apartment is 36 square meters. you're not going to get a 1 bedroom, 36 square meters in IT Park, our business park. You're not getting one that large, and it's going to cost more because I looked at cost and some of those places in business park, I pay 30. Some of those places are 70,000. Some of those are 50,000. I mean, they
It's because
fluctuate.
they're close to the market and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You're where he's talking about. It might be not. Some of these places are right there at the mall.
Yeah, that's what
You
I'm
just walk
saying.
across the street, or and I mean, you're just walking right across the street to the mall. It's just that's it. What you cross one street and you're at the mall. Some of these apartment
No.
buildings, and you're paying for that. You're paying for that convenience. And they have a really nice. Some of them have real good swimming pools and real big gyms. Uh, yeah, I went with JRC. Like I said I had Clark was the agent I dealt with, and like I said, just tell him what you're looking for, and tell him your price range, and he'll, you know, he'll line up four places or more for you to check out. And if none of those are good for you, you give him another day or so, and he'll find a few more, and but he may tell you that, hey, look, those are the best I can find you at that price range. You may have to go a little higher in price because
Yeah.
that's what I did. I was going on a lower price range, and I raised it a little bit to help him find more places for me to look at. And like I've told you guys this before. I think I even told it in the video that I did on my apartment. Is I came here. This is the first one he showed me. I came in. I looked around. I liked it. They wanted a 6 month or a year lease, and both of them required a 2 month deposit and first and last month payment. Now, the difference between a 6 month and a year, if you did a year, you got 1 month free. And I like the deal, but it's like, I'll think about it. I'm going to go look at some others. And before I walked out, they said, well, we can do a month to month. Hey, Mike, I guess you turned your camera off or something. You dropped out. All right. And so I took the month to month, and I never went and looked at any of the others. Uh, I just like the effect of the month to month. Oh, yeah, Mike, Phil, yeah, you'll find a place in 2 weeks. Like I said, once I looked, the first day I looked, I found a place I liked. But like I said, I told him what I was looking for. I was not looking to be in the bubble. Uh, I just wanted to be close to it. Because there are days, even though, like I said, this last week was unusual. I stayed home, didn't go anywhere for 4 days in a row. That's unusual. But it's not unusual for me to go 1 or 2 days, not a week, and sometimes in a row, 2 days in a row, and not go anywhere. I'll just stay right at home because I'm comfortable in my house. I don't in my apartment. I don't have to go out every day. I'm not one of those people that has to be. I was the same way back in the States. On my 3 days off, there was usually one day, if not two, I didn't go anywhere. I stayed home. And then I'd go out 1 or 2 days, and that was it. Uh, yeah, I'm going to tell you, I like Business Park better than IT Park, uh, but I stay in the mall the most, and I like that mall better than I do the IT Parks mall. Uh, Now, if you're a night person, IT might be better because they have stuff that's open 24/7. Because there's a lot of call centers at IT Park. Now, they don't necessarily. Uh, Not everything's open, but there'll be a place to go get a cup of coffee, a bite to eat. Some place will be open that you can do that 24/7 because, like I said, they got people working in that area 24/7. Uh, I don't go. I'm a night person, but not out at night. I stay up at night here at home. I come back home around 8 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock. Uh, Depends, but usually I'm on my way back home around 8 o'clock at night. I don't go to the bars. I'm not a bar person. I So yeah, that's not something I want to do. I don't really want to hit the bars and all that good happy stuff. It's not me. Uh, I got all my wildness out when I was younger. I went to the bars and I chased the skirts and did all that in my teens, 20s, 30s, 40s. So I got my wild hair out a long time ago. Uh, I still went to the bars in my 50s, not very often, but and I usually somebody else was driving or I was at the bar, but the bar was at a hotel. Uh, I quit going to the bar and drinking in my 40s, uh, unless somebody else was driving. I quit drinking and driving my late 40s. I just quit doing it. So if there was a bar close enough that I could walk to, I did. I walked to the bars in my 40s and early 50s. They were close enough that there were some bars that were close enough that I liked. But if, where I was living at in Waterville, there was no bar I was walking to. There was none that was even close to me. Uh, in Leroy, there was a bar restaurant I used to go to, but the owners sold it out to somebody else. And once they sold it out, I quit going. There just wasn't a bar close enough that I really cared for to walk to. There was a decent bar that I could walk to, but it's not a place you'd walk it. It was farther than I'd want to walk in the bad weather. So I just quit going. Just and I don't drink at home by myself. Uh, and I had a case of beer in Leroy. I ended up drinking a couple of beers every night just to get rid of it because it was almost a year in my refrigerator, and everybody that came over didn't drink. And I don't like drinking by myself, so I'd have one or two beers a night until it was gone. And I haven't bought beer from my house since. And then when I lived in Waterville, none of my friends drank. So it was just like, all right, take care, Phil. And so I just don't drink much at all. I don't drink and drive. I don't go to bars, and I would probably have a drink or two with some friends here in the Philippines when I meet up with them. If they want to have a drink, I'll probably have a drink or two. But I'm done getting drunk. Uh, no, not doing it. So, man, it's got to be after. Yeah. But so yeah, it just we're just trying to enjoy ourselves and try to decide what to do. Oh, folks, for those of you that know, I have a new Ninja channel. It's on my Filipino phone. Uh, you probably won't see me do any posting on it. I did give myself a monitoring manager on the phone. I don't know what I can do with it. I've never used Monitor except for on my own. But so yeah, let's just you know uh, So I don't know what else to talk about. Like I said, we've been going almost an hour. I was talking about 15 minutes before that. So I've been going for over an hour. But yeah, so right now we're just trying to get myself straightened out. Now I got to try to decide how the best way for me to travel to different islands. Like I said, I still have to make my arrangements to go to the Dumaguete, and I'm debating. I don't want to take the plane this time. That's such a short trip. So I got to decide between a fast ferry and a ro-ro. And I'm leaning towards a fast ferry uh, and taking the ro-ro on a longer trip, uh, like maybe to Bye Bye or Davao City or Iloilo. And one of those I may fly uh, just just to do it. Uh, Eventually, I'll go to Angeles or Clark. I'll probably fly to Clark. Uh, I know I'll probably fly to Manila if I go to Manila, because those are really long trips by ferry. I think a ro-ro takes a full day. I don't think I'd be wanting to sit on a ferry for that long. Uh, I know when I take the ro-ro, I'll probably follow Dan's uh, method, get the VIP room if I can, and go at night so I can sleep. And maybe get one of those that's more than 7 hours, so you leave in the early or late afternoon or early evening and get there the next morning. I know Dan's is about 7 hours. I don't I don't know if I can take a fast ferry to that one or not. Uh, and can I do it to Bye Bye or do I have to do it to Ormoc? We'll see. But it looks like no one's got any questions or anything. So we're going to get ready to shut this down unless somebody wants to talk about something. The Coin Society, are you still there? If you are, say hi. Uh, I know you don't always like it when I have a guest up, but like I said, for me, it makes it more enjoyable to talk to somebody. Uh, so I have know that someone's actually there. Yeah, good. If you ever want to come up, you're welcome to come up to a coin society. Uh, but yeah, I gotta. When I do go to that medical supply, I'll probably do a video on it just because I don't know if they have it there. I think they may have it. There'd be the only place here that would have it. What I want. If not, like I said, I can order it through Amazon. I could probably get it through Lazada or Shopee, one of those two. But I still have to set some things up. I can't set up my Gcash until I get my uh, ACR card because they want that number before they'll let you sign up. Either that or you got to have uh, something proving that you're here for a while. It's because I had downloaded it. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Coin. There's a lot of people that stay in the background, which is fine. It helps the algorithm if they're in the background not saying anything. Just as long as you're in the chat, you're showing up in the chat. Now, don't be by making comments. That helps too. But as long as the longer you're in there, that increases the time people watch and all that good stuff. Like I said, I'm not trying to turn this into a money maker. Uh, if I was, I'd have to grind a lot more than I am. I'd have to get out and do more. And maybe later on I will. I don't plan on trying to make any money out of this because if I try to make money, then it becomes a job, and that's not what I'm looking for. I mean, I worked over 50 years. I worked damn near 60 years. That's good. Now, so at Coin Society, Sunday morning, do you mean Sunday morning for you? Like, are you in the Philippines or this area? Or do you mean uh, my doing Sunday morning is good for you because it's your Saturday afternoons? I know most of the people that are in the States, like Phil and Jerry, uh, uh, okay, you're here in the Philippines like I am. All right. Now, what part of the Philippines are you in? I'm in Cebu City right now. So, are you in on the? I'm not asking your city. It's just what island, or if you want, what city? Uh, because, like I said, each place is different, and like I said, I want to check out other places to try to decide where I want to live. Uh, so you're on Luzon. Right now, if I was going to live in Luzon, if I had to choose a place right now, is either be in the Cavite area, Cavite, which is close to Manila, or maybe Subic Bay. Okay, down the mountain. All right, I've heard of. I'm not going to try to pronounce that word. Tagaytay, or however you pronounce it, Tagaytay. Oh, you're in Cavite. All right. I used to follow a guy, Steve. He had a Filipino expat. I think that was the name of the channel. Then he turned that over to a guy named Rich, and Rich decided he's in Thailand. And I quit following him when he moved to Thailand. I have no interest in Thailand at all. Uh, I did when I first started checking things out. I can't remember who I followed first. I don't follow either one of them anymore. But it was Enrique from Life Beyond the Seas and uh, Rob, Rob, Thailand Rob, 20 Seconds in Thailand. Those are the first two I started following as vloggers. This is back around 2016, somewhere in there. And I kind of got thinking, I'd like to retire overseas. And that's when the seed was really implanted on retiring overseas, way back then. And so I started checking it out. And every time I'd add a vlogger from the Thailand, I'd add one from the Philippines, because those are the two areas I was interested in. Thailand, because of the food, they had a more stable infrastructure. They're a little, but the Philippines was, well, I've been to the Philippines. I served with a bunch of Filipinos in the Navy, got to know some of their families, very good people, very kind, very hardworking. So I already knew I liked the Filipino people in general. Plus, I'd been to the Philippines. I was in Subic Bay long ago. Hey, Tim, and that is totally different in a military area compared to out what you would consider civilian towns. Things are different, and the culture is going to be different. So there was no guarantee that the Philippines would be the best place. But the more and more I watched both places, the more and more I said, no, Thailand's not for me. I like the ideal that I can travel around by myself and find people to talk to, and I don't have to be in the tourist area. Where if I went to the Philippines, if I really wanted to be able to travel around by myself and find people I can talk to, I'd have to be in tourist areas. I mean, I might be able to find somebody outside the tourist area, but there's no guarantee. I can find somebody that speaks English anywhere I go. They may be the high school kids or fresh out of college, but so in other words, the younger people, but there's somebody you can talk to. Because, like I said, as you all know, the English is an official second language of the Philippines. A lot of, if not all of your government documents, you can get in English. Street signs are you can read. They may not be English words, but you can read the street signs. Uh, there might be Hispanic names or something like that's what I'm saying, but uh, like Beneficial City, that's not an English name, but you can read it and you know what it says, and you don't need somebody else to tell you, well, what's that? Well, I'm looking for Beneficial City. How am I going to find it? You can read the street sign. Can't always do that in Thailand and some other countries. So that was a convenience that really appealed to me. Uh, and like I said, my service time on ship and on shore duty, being around the Filipinos that I got to meet and know, uh, was another influencing factor. Like I said, because Thailand and the Philippines both are warm all year round, both have their rainy seasons, uh, but you got to pick someplace. And I also like the convenience of the visa, and I like the fact that I can permanently stay here if I want. I can't unless I marry a lady in Thailand. I can't do that, and I don't want to have to get married to stay somewhere. I'm not saying I won't get married. I'm just saying I don't want to have to do it. Uh, I can stay here for 3 years without leaving. I can't do that in Thailand. So there was all kinds of reasons to come here. And like I said, the people being one of them. Don't get me wrong. Don't discount the friendliness of the people. I don't. That is definitely an important factor of it. So that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm going to stay in the Philippines. I'm not going to try to find another country. I just want to find the city I want to be in. Okay, I didn't know they stopped for a generation. It's good to know. Hey, Ian, LB sending everybody now. All right, Mary, you're back from LB. Now, I've seen you before, so I'm going to give you I want to see something here. I'm going to try to give you a monitor. Nope, can't do that. All right. Nope, I have to do it here. All right. All right. No, LJ, I'm in Cebu City, so it's morning here. I have been in Cebu since May 19th. I was landed in Lapu-Lapu uh, at Mactan uh, uh, Cebu Airport. Then I moved over to Cebu City on the 21st, and I moved into this apartment on June 1st. And so I've been here for a while. I been enjoying myself. Hey, Pamela, RD, thank you for coming in. I see Elby's raiding me now. But yeah, so I've been searching now. I'm searching for where I want to live. Do I want to stay here in Cebu City? I'm going to go to Dumaguete, check that out for about a week. That doesn't rule that as the place I want to live. It can rule it out, but it won't rule it in. It'll let me know if I like it. I'll check it out again. maybe a little longer sometime, like maybe 2 weeks. Uh, who knows? I also want to check out Davao City. I know some people down that way. It's a clean city, safe city. I also want to check out Iloilo. Same thing there. They got the river walk, which really appeals to me. And I'm going to go over and visit Sir Dan and Mad Minnie and Bye Bye. And so I'll check out some the areas there, see if I think I might be comfortable over that way. I doubt if I'll stay in Bye Bye. Probably more like Ormoc or some place a little larger than Bye Bye. I want to get a hospital right there. And I know, according from what the videos I've seen of Dan's, Ormoc seems to have the better hospital over Bye Bye. So I'd probably be in Ormoc, which is not that far away. It's close enough you can visit. So I will check out Bye Bye. I will go and visit Dan and Mad Minnie. And if I haven't found a place to live, I'll check out Ormoc and maybe see how I like that area. Because, like I said, I want to find a place that I'm comfortable. One of the things about Cebu City is that it's a little more expensive than some of these other places. I can afford it, but it does constrain my budget more than some of these other places will. I happen to be a retired security officer, not police officer, security guard. I was a security guard or a security officer. I worked for Securitas, which I think Securitas is here in the Philippines as well. We don't get rich working security, at least we don't in the States. There's some people that work for minimum wage in security. I happen to make above minimum wage. That's because of the sites I was contracted to. So, but I don't have a retirement plan from them. They did, they offered a 401k back when it was Pinkerton. And at the time, I wasn't planning on staying in security that long. And I was a dummy. I didn't check into it. And so I never joined it. So all I got is my Social Security. It's more than enough to live here in the Philippines, especially as a single person, and live comfortably. But I'm not going to live high end like a lot of expats here. There's a whole lot of expats that have a whole lot more money coming in every month than I do. And I don't begrudge them. I mean, they earned it. They were smart enough to put money away. God bless them for it. I wish I was had that much of a forethought about retirement. But I'll be honest with you, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I didn't think I'd live long enough. Yeah, my mom lived to be 99, but I had a tendency to burn the candle, as we used to say in the States. You'd light the candle. I lit it on both ends and tried to light the middle. I mean, I lived a wild lifestyle. I mean, I was out getting drunk almost every day, drunk driving, doing all kinds of stupid stuff. And that was the dumbest stuff. I did that for years. I never thought I'd live long enough to retire. Even in my 40s, I wasn't sure I was going to make it. Hell, I never was really sure. But, my older brother died at 37, my younger brother at 56. So like I said, I was never, my dad at 61. Now, say, thank you for coming back. Like I said, I was never positive that I was going to make retirement. And so I didn't plan for it. My dad went on total disability at 47. And like I said, my dad went on total disability at 47. He looked at something wrong. Now, my dad was a big man. He was like 6'3", maybe 6'4", but around 6'3", 6'3", weighed about 258 pounds, lifted something wrong, and he went from 258 pounds down to 150 in 3 months. That's it, 3 months. He lost that much weight because he lifted something wrong. And that was it. He was done working. He was never going to be healthy again. And I was 12 years old when this happened. So it had a big impact on me, seeing my dad being so big, so strong. To me, strong, almost as strong as Superman. He was my idol. To being reduced to a weak man. And I still love my father, don't get me wrong, but that had a high impact. I thought nothing could whip my dad. And that happened. And then later on, after he'd been retired for a while and started feeling a little bit better. Hey, Cindy, long time no see. Thanks for coming. My dad, I overheard my dad tell somebody, if I was faking this injury, I could enjoy this retirement. But my father, well, I'll tell you what happened. He pulled what they call a bowel, Bowel or something like that is the spelling. It's what controls your bathroom movements, your solid bathroom movements. But he pulled that out of place. And he could never go somewhere without knowing where the restroom was at. Because if the urge hit, he had to go. There was no waiting. He had to go. And if he could, and we carried a spare change of clothes in the car for him because there would be times he couldn't make it to the bathroom, to the stool, because maybe somebody else was in there. And he'd go in his clothes. And there was nothing he could do about it. He had no control. And so, I would have to go out in the car and get the change of clothes for him and take him in and give them to him. He'd have to clean himself up and change clothes. Finally, years later, and I do mean years later, they were able to do a ileostomy colostomy because his was so severe. And they put a bag on his side. I'm convinced if they could have done that back when it happened, he'd have lived beyond 61. But all that turmoil caused internal cancer. And that's what killed him at 61. So, hey, okay. Hey, Coin. Coin, you have a good one, man. I'm just going to say Coin. You have a good one, Coin. Enjoy yourself, man. So, like I said, that highly influenced me as a kid that you got to enjoy life while you can. And so that's what I did. I lived my life to have fun. I worked so I could spend money. I did not work to save it. Like I said, I didn't plan on living that long. I had friends that would bet you that I wouldn't live to see 30 when I was in my early 20s. Hell, I would have took that bet. I'd have bet I wouldn't see 30 because that's the way I was living. Like I said, I lived a wild. I mean, I wasn't out, raping, killing, stealing, murdering, anything like that. But I was a hard drinking, hard charging, like I said, drove drunk person. I was just I lived a wild life, and I continued that into my 30s. And that's one of the reasons I never got married when I was young. I pretty much stayed away from the women that would want me to maybe get married, but I also knew that if I got married to my lifestyle, she'd have shot me or divorced me in 6 months. Because no good woman would have put up with me. I mean, I was that much out of control. And I don't think anybody could have slowed me down. And I did know some women that I found very attractive that if I was going to settle down with, they would have been the one. But one of them was married, so that wasn't going to happen. I never would. And she wasn't the kind that would cheat on her husband. which if she was, I wouldn't have wanted to settle down with her. But, you know, but there was a couple good women I went out with, and I run those relationships because of my lifestyle. And I had a Filipino I was dating. We were a Mutt and Jeff couple. Mutt and Jeff, for you that don't know the old cartoons, the Mutt and Jeff was actually was two guys, but the term is Mutt and Jeff because one was really short and one was really tall. Now I'm not real tall, but she was only 4'10", okay, and I'm 5'8", so you know, real big difference in height. So we were a Mutt and Jeff couple. My mom and dad was a Mutt and Jeff couple. My dad was like 6'3", 6'4", and my mom was like 5'2". All right. My dad was about 6'4", so there was a foot difference between them or more. My oldest sister was like 5 foot, and her husband was like 6'2", more than a foot between them. Mutt and Jeff. So that's what Mutt. When I use the term Mutt and Jeff, that's what I'm talking about. There's a big difference in height between the people, and she was a really good woman. She really was. Uh, she was divorced, uh, which I did, you know. I didn't care if a woman been married and divorced. If I was wanting to settle down, I wanted her to be single, whether it's divorced or never married, doesn't matter. I don't want her to be with someone else running around on him and then trying to settle down with me. No, that's not going to work. Uh, so anyway, I ruined the relationship. At the time, I blamed her. But when I look back on it, it was me, 90% me. Uh, she was, if she'd have said something about what I was doing, I might have changed. I might not have. I think what was bothering her the most, I probably would have changed. Uh, she worked at a bar, which most girls I dated worked in bars back then, because like I said, that's where I was at all the time. Hey, Madeline, Madeline, uh, hard day today. Thank you for coming. Sherelle, Shane, Sherelle, where'd that come from? Shane, LR, thank you for coming as well. I've been rambling here a little bit, but back in the States and some other countries, the girls made money off the drinks that were bought for them. Okay. And so I tried to play it like she was single and I wasn't her boyfriend. And I'm not the jealous type, you know. If we're together, and I believe we're together, I'm not running around on you. I don't expect you to be running around on me. Your job is to talk to other guys and get them to buy you a drink. I'm not going to get jealous over that. So I just never told the regulars that we were going out, and that upset her. I think she wanted them to know that we were dating. Now the new ones that would come in, they would buy her drinks because she got paid per hour, but she made more if drinks were bought for her. And I just didn't do it. And she started going out with a guy I knew, trying to make me jealous. I didn't know if they were going out. I knew she was spending a lot of time at the bar with him, but I just figured she was doing her job. And I didn't say anything. And I should have said something to Paul. Hey, Paul, Vicky and I are dating, you know, and we're seeing each other, you know, but I didn't. So that was my fault. And like I said, I would say most of the problems we have was my fault, but that was my lifestyle. So, you know, like I said, I was a, a drunken skirt chaser, and I wasn't chasing skirt when I was going out with her. But I'll tell you how much she cared for me and how much she wanted to keep me around. Uh, if I was broke, she'd buy me a beer, set it in front of me without me ever asking. And I'd just sip that beer And if it got half empty, she'd sit down another full one because she knew what I was doing, that I was trying to nurse it so I could have something to do. And she knew I was broke, but she knew once that beer was done, because I was broke, I was going to go somewhere else, maybe even back to the ship, or I might go. I had friends I could borrow money from. I might go looking for them. And she didn't want me going running around. If I had money, I bought my own drinks. If I wanted to leave, I left. But she didn't want me to have to go find somebody to borrow money from. And she'd do that the whole night. And like I said, hey, Anime, how you doing? Thanks for coming. So like I said, she was a good woman. I mean, like I said, not everybody. Good morning as well, Anime. Especially in the States, not all the women that work in bars are bad women. I don't think they're all bad women here in the Philippines either. The odds increase depending on the kind of bar you're in. Anywhere, it increased in the States too. I cheat, Anime. I cheat. I send my laundry out twice a week uh, to get it done. I just have to take it downstairs to the guard area, and the laundry comes pick it up, and they bring it back the next day. And the guards or the maintenance people usually bring it up to my apartment. I don't even have to go down and get it. Now I pay a little more for that, but the price is listed. And there's a place I could walk to, good little walk, but I could walk to it. Would save me a little money, but I have to carry it down there, drop it off, and then go back the next day, pick it up, and carry it back. And I don't feel like doing that. I'd rather pay the couple extra pesos. And when I say a couple, I mean about 20 extra pesos per kilo, and have them pick it up, them do it, and then bring it back to me. And all I got to do is carry it downstairs. I just soon do that. That's what I do. Like I said, I retired to make my life as easy as possible. I've enjoyed not working these last couple of months. It's been almost 3 months without working. I retired. I quit working on April 10th. Have not worked since. Now, outside of, well, I can't say that. I worked to get my apartment straightened out, and I had a lot of help from a friend, a female friend, but we're just friends. We've known each other now for, almost 40 years. Trying to think. Mid 36, 37 years, 38 years, something like that. About 38 years we've known each other. Good friends. I know her husband. Her daughter calls me Uncle Larry. So, she talked about if she ever gets the chance and the time, because she's a very busy person. She wouldn't mind coming over and visiting sometime in the future. Won't be anytime soon. I told her if she comes, she's got a place to stay. And if I get together with someone, they're going to have to understand this is a friend. That's all we've ever been as friends. We've known each other by that time, be probably 40 years or more. And she's going to stay with us, if we got the room. It's that simple. Uh, uh, she's helped me out so many different times as a friend. It just, I can never say enough nice things about her. I truly love her as like a sister. She is my very best friend now that's not related to me. She was my very best female friend, my very best friend in New York, my best friend in Terre Haute is a guy named David. He passed away a couple of years ago. I've known David since I was 12 years old. And, you know, and whenever I go back to Terre Haute, we'd get together and have lunch or dinner or talk. And it was just like, you know, we've been around each other all the time. I knew his wife. I didn't know his kids that well. Most of his kids were born after I left or just before I left. Now, he ran a club, a military, or not military, former military. It was the American Legion. It's where people that are in the military can join the Legion. And it was an American Legion club. And he was in charge of it, and I'd go in and outside of going in, and like I said, him and I getting together with my cousin George, because all three of us were friends, getting something to eat. I'd go in and visit him, and his wife would normally be there, and I'd talk with her because I knew her before they got married. I met her. She was when she first started dating Dave. That's when I met her. So before they got married, I met her. So I've known her for many, not as long as Dave, but for many years. And so I'd go in and see them, and I would sit and drink Coke. Like I said, I don't drink and drive. But I'd go in there in a couple hours and visit and have Cokes and talk to some of the people that were in there, all former military like myself. And some were Army, some were Marines like Dave, and some were Navy like myself, Air Force, American Legion's everybody. Any branch of the service could join the American Legion. So I would do that every time I would go home. I'd go and visit a couple times, and we'd go. Like I said, him, my cousin George, and I would go out and get something to eat. Usually at that Mexican restaurant that I did a video on, Lasada, my favorite Mexican restaurant. And I still, when I went home last time, my cousin George and I and his wife joined us this time, Mary. We went there and had our lunch. Well, actually, Mary came in and talked with us. Then she left and did something and came back, and we sat and talked. But now I've known Mary since before they got married. But George knew Mary long before that. He met Mary while I was in the service. And they dated for a while. They broke up and they got married. And then found out his wife was a complainer. She started complaining about things that happened 2 years earlier when they first started dating that she never said a word about. And she started bitching about it right after they got married. And he told her, said, why didn't you see something then? And she just was always complaining. So something happened, and so he decided to join, and not with her, something else happened. So he decided to join the Army. And he went down and joined the Army, came back, told his wife, I don't remember her name because I never met his first wife. I was in the Navy the entire time that was going on. And he told her, hey, I joined the Army. I'm going to boot camp. You're not going anywhere. I filed for divorce and walked out. And so he got divorced. He was only married a few months, but that was it. Went in the service. He did, I want to say 3, maybe 4 years. We both got out in 78. So he did 3 years. A little over, maybe. He did about 3 years. Jorlene, how you doing, Jorlene? Thanks for coming. And so I got out before him about 2 weeks. And he gets home. We get together. And then he started dating Mary. which was fine. I mean, but Mary hated me before she ever met me. Because remember, I told you in my 30s and beyond, I was a wild child. Well, I was still in my 20s. I was only in my mid 20s. So I was a wild child. I was a drunk. And Mary hated me before she ever met me because every time George and I got together before he'd go see her, he'd be halfway drunk, if not drunk. He had his tonsils taken out. First person he asked to see was me, not her. Now you got to remember, George and I are only 11 days apart. We're first cousins. Our mothers are sisters. We've been best of friends since since we can remember. We were more than cousins. We were just like brothers or whatever you want to say. We were just best friends and still that way. 72 years later, we're still that way. And so anyway, so she hated me. She never met me. She hated everything George did that was wrong in her eyes was my fault. So mind you, she already hates me. She hadn't met me. So we're gonna go meet. Yeah, I'm gonna go meet her and her parents. George and I. George is gonna take me over to meet them. We stop at a pizza place uh, that serves beer by the pitcher, and this is a Sunday, and we're gonna go out and meet them, but we're gonna get something to eat first. And got this real pretty waitress, blonde. I kept ordering pictures of beers. I don't know how many pictures we had. Maybe three or four, just the two of us. So we're pretty well lit. Then we go out and meet Mary and and her parents. And I'm putting on the best impression, right? I, I'm the fault for everything wrong that George does, and we show up drunk. Oh God, she hated me. She loves me now, but she hated me then. But she eventually got to know me and slowly changed her opinion of me. And she once told me, I used to blame you for George getting drunk all the time. And then she goes, I found out George was just as guilty. George was a drinker as well. Now George settled down a little more, quicker than I did, but like I said, he got married. And eventually, even though he was married, he still drank, but he stayed home most of the time. And he'd go out with a couple buddies and have a few drinks, but he didn't run around the bars a lot unless it was with people she knew. And if him and I went drinking, it was usually with Dave and George and myself, and it wasn't every night. Which I was out drinking. If I had the money, I was out drinking every night, unless I was working at night. Then I'd go out after I got off work. Uh, so, like I said, she eventually realized that George was just as guilty as I was. We both liked to drink and have a good time. And now I was a little wilder than George, but George wasn't much more sane about it than I was. He's a little more, like I said, he didn't do it quite as often. And then again, like I said, he was married. He had bought a house, fixed it up, and when he got married, he automatically was a family man because she had a baby boy when they got married, very young. He adopted the boy Tommy. Uh, and then later on, they had Leslie, and a little later on, they had John. Uh, so he ended up with three kids. Uh, but like when he got married, he was already a family man. She had a son, and he helped raise it and adopted a son. So that forced him to settle down quicker than I did. Because if you marry someone, you know, you got to take their feelings into consideration. That's why, like I said, if I'd have got married, I was not mature enough to do that. Uh, I knew me, I would still been a drunken asshole. Uh, if I'd have got married in my 20s and 30s, she'd have shot or divorced me in 6 months. I was convinced in my mind that's what would happen. So it's like, if you're going to be out of this relationship in 6 months anyway, why get married? Now, I thought about marriage in my 40s. Uh, Even thought maybe I found a girl or two to settle down with. They didn't work out. Uh, by that time, I became the nice guy, and they wanted the bad boy, and I was no longer the bad boy. So I would be the one they would date. I was Mister In Between, uh, the guy that they did in between the last asshole and the next asshole, the safe guy. How I became the safe guy, I have no clue. It just, I finally started maturing, I guess. There was no woman that forced me to do it. I did it on my own. And so that's what happened. And uh, you think you're going to be going out with someone that you find attractive, whether they have kids or not, because I've dated both in that age group. Some had kids, some didn't. Uh, but they weren't looking for the nice guy. They wanted the guy that was exciting and, oh, they'll slow them down. They'll be just what they want, and they don't. One finally ended up married. Actually, two of them ended up married. One of them told me that they think they married the wrong guy, and then they were talking to me. And it's like, no, you married the right guy because that's what you chose. It's too late to think about me as being the right guy. That should have been what you were thinking when we were dating. And the other ones were just, she didn't really have a childhood, so I don't blame her as much in some aspects. She got married very young. Uh, so then she ended up divorced, so she was living out her uh, single period. And, but there again, she was looking more for the asshole than the nice guy. And by that time, I was turning more into the nice guy. Still a drunk, but still the nice guy at that time with her. But that happens. And then later on, once I really decided, it wouldn't be bad to settle down, I noticed all the good women were married for a long time. All the good women I knew were married. And, you don't settle down with a married woman if it's not your wife. And then a lot of them that got divorced uh, were looking for. There was a couple that I wanted to date, but they wanted just to be friends. So in other words, I weren't their type, which is fine. Not everybody's type. And then there was a few that I might have been willing to date, but they had more kids than I wanted to raise. Like I said, one or two I could raise. You start talking 3, 4 kids, it's more, because at that time I'm still young enough. I may want my own. So how many kids I'm going to be responsible for? One or two is one thing, but now at my age, I don't know if I want kids. So that's something the woman has to take in consideration. I'm not saying I won't have them. It's just not, I'm not looking to have them. And so that's kind of a subject I wasn't planning on getting onto. What can I say? Rose, how you doing, Rose? I'm going to give you a monitor. Just give me a second. If you have a channel and you want to advertise it to the people that's on here, I don't know how many's still on here, not too many. Just type in 3Ls. Capital or small, doesn't matter. Just 3Ls. My Nightbot will drop your channel for you. So anyway, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be going. I've been going almost 2 hours. If you count the time I was talking to myself, I've been going for 2 hours. You probably don't know this, Rose, but when I first brought the live stream up, I was setting everything up, and I had a person that was shown in the chat, and I started talking to him. And I was just talking away and thinking I was actually talking to somebody. Then I look up, and if you ever do use Yard Stream, up in the right hand corner of your screen, there's a sign up there that says "Go Live" until you go live. And I looked up and it said "Go Live," and I realized I hadn't hit that button yet. So I had to hit the button. I had already been talking for about 15 minutes, maybe longer. So I hit that button. Now it says end stream. So, and on the end stream, you don't hit it once, you got to hit it twice. So in case you ever use Yard Stream. But so it just was a strange day to begin with. Like I said, I woke up, I got in here, got the live stream up a couple minutes late, and I'm setting everything up, and I see that Jerry's in the chat. Jerry's one of my regulars. Jerry, I call South Texas home. So our Jerry in South Texas, he might have changed his name, but it's Jerry South Texas. And I was just talking to Jerry. Jerry's one of the guys that a lot of times will come up on my live stream, and we'll talk back and forth. And people ask questions, and they could ask Jerry a question. Well, Jerry's on his cell phone, so I'll read the question to Jerry so he can answer it. Today I had Mike H. come up. He came up and joined me for a while. And but like I said, for about 15 minutes or more, I'm just sitting there thinking Jerry was just hearing every word I was saying, just talking away. Then I look up and see I hadn't even started the live stream yet. So as soon as I started it, a lot of people started coming in and making comments. Well, like I said, I've been talking for about 2 hours, so I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down. Rose, next time you come in, you'll know you have a jacket. You should know it already because I had you as a monitor. So I want to thank everybody for coming. Remember now, take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. Plus, have fun. Like I said, I'm going to end it. Bye, everybody.